Now the chapter 6. As Sid, Manfred, and Diego followed the doodoo bird around the corner, they saw a very strange sight. A doodoo military compound filled with the flightless birds preparing for the ice age. A line of marching doodoos filed past the sergeant on the wooden perch. I don't know, but I've been told, the sergeant shouted. I don't know, but I've been told, the marching doodoos repeated. And the world the mighty go, the sergeant yelled. And the world the mighty go. The, the training doodoos called back. One of the marching doodoos in front of the line tripped and fell on ground. He was stomping flat by the marchers behind him. Across the compound, another group of doodoos were in basic training, jumping, ducking under obstacles, and trying to unsuccessfully to fly. Overseeing the training were a corporal and two motivational speakers. The three overseers were perched on the tall platform high above the compound. Prepare for the ice age, one of the motivational speakers noted. But then, no way of life, the other added. The corporal raised his bet. Survival! Separate the dodo from the beast! He cried, swinging the baton enthusiastically. The baton smacked into one of the motivational speakers beside him, knocking him off the platform. Sid carried pushing into the compound, followed closely by Manfred and Diego. They watched as the dude that they first seen put down his melon on a stump beside two other melons. Sid pointed to the dodo bird that had carried the melon. You see, he said to his companion loudly. I told you he went this way. Prepare for the ice age, the remaining speaker called from his perch. Ice age? Sid whispered in confusion. Diego rolled his golden eyes. I've heard of these crab pots, he said. The doodoo they followed gasped when he spotted the sloth, the baby, and the mammoth and the tiger. Ah! The doodoo screeched. Intruder! He rushed deeper into the compound toward a group of doodoos standing by a pit of boiling water. Now don't fall in, a doodoo named Dawn told the others standing next to him. If you do, you will venom in the family. The doodoo that had carried the melon ran up to them. Intruders! He hollered, interrupting the stewing doodoo. Intrude! He tripped and plunged into the boiling pit with a scream, disappearing from sight. Dawn stared down in the pit. Burn and die, he finished. Manfred approached the doodoos beside the pit. Guys, he called, can we have a melon back? He pointed with his trunk toward Rashane, who said had sat down on the ground. Junior's hungry. No way! Another doodoo named Dap replied, putting his hands on his tips. This is our private stockpile for the ice age. Stop by temperatures of wars under the ground for billion years. The mammoth raised his bushy eyebrows. So you got 3 melons? If you weren't smart enough to plan ahead, Dab scolded Manfred, then do 'em on you. Do 'em on you. All the doodoos in the compound muttered. Their voice rose to a loud chant as they marched in step toward Manfred. Do 'em on you. Do 'em on you. Get away from me, Manfred hollered. To protect one of the melons, Dab threw himself on top of it. The melon shot out from under him and sailed right into Rashane's arms. Oh no! Dab screamed. No! Retrieve the melon! He raised as a fist in the air. Daquan Doodles! Attack! Three doodles dressed in material odds robes stepped out from behind trees. They chopped the air with their hands. Yeah! They grunted, kicking into the air and approaching Washane. The taekwondoers wrestled the melon away from Washane. Yeah! One of them yelled. Quick! He held the melon to the doo behind him. The doo caught it, then pitched it to another. The next doo tossed the melon over his shoulder. But there was no more doo behind him. The melon sailed over the edge of the cliff. The melon! The melon! The melon! All the doo screamed. They watched after it, following it straight over the cliff. Meanwhile, Sid grabbed one of the two remaining melons from the tree stump before he could get a firm hold on it. Three more doo jumped him and pulled the melon back. They played keep away with tossing the melons over Sid's head. With a short jump, Sid managed to swat the melon away from them. It sailed toward the pit of boiling water. The doos chased after the melon and managed to catch it with their beaks. A second later, they lost their balance and tumbled into the boiling water, the melon right behind them. The remaining doos turned and saw the last melon on the tree stump. They jumped on it, trying to grab it, but ended up in a ball of confusion. The melon rolled away. Manfred caught it with his trunk and began to carry it toward Wishing. But four of the doos noticed what he was doing, and they watched him. For a few moments, Manfred simply held the melon high above their heads as the doos tried to jump at it. Another doo had the bright idea of slamming into Manfred's right behind. With a startled cry, Manfred couldn't help launching the melon into the air. The bruised fruit plopped down near three other doos. It bounced off the head of one, knocking them down, bounced to the next, knocking him down, and bounced off the third right into Sid's arms. A throng of doos surrounded Sid, leaving him nowhere to run. He decided to charge straight into them, knocking them down like bowling pins. A bunch of the birds flew up in the air, then landed one on top of the other in a teetering tower that looked like an enormous totem pole. The rest of the doos close and on Sid. He leaped triumphantly over their heads, landing in the clear and skidding to a halt right in front of Manfred, Diego, and Roche, who all cheered. Sid raised the melon over his head, doing a jiggy and some dance. Overcome by excitement, he spiked the melon hard onto the ground. It was smashed with a splat. Ah, Sid! Manfred groaned. Now we gotta find more food. But Washington didn't care if the melon was squished. He began to chow down on it, happily smearing soggy melon juice all over his face. More to the right, a doo frantically ordered from behind him. More to the right. More to the right. With heavy footsteps, the leaning tower of doos wobbled toward the animals. But the doos weren't very good at steering. The tower lurched toward the edge of a cliff. Plunging off the ledge, the doos screamed in terror as they dropped out of the sight. Hey, look at that, Manfred said, sounding a mist. Dinner and a show. Diego shook his head at the pitiful defense of the Duders. I give that species 40,000 years or so, tops. Okay, that's the end of chapter 6. That's a little bit short title. I continue chapter 7.